Hi, I made the video already, so this editing is going to be weird because the reason for this little segment is to ask you to watch the entire video. I know sometimes we scrub through videos, we only watch the first couple of minutes, but Ann Lowe is somebody that you need to know about. So I am going to put this at the beginning of my video, so I might say hi, welcome more than once, but I just wanted to say that. All right. Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this book review, it's for By Her Own Design, and that's what the book review is named, but I'm going to give you the entire title. It's By Her Own Design, The Story of Ann Lowe, Society's Best Kept Secret. The author is Piper Huguley. Now, I have read one of her books before. It's a fictional romance. I can't quite remember the name of it, but I have read one of her books before. And this book is written almost as it's fiction, but it's almost like a memoir of Ann Lowe's life and experiences. Notice that the full title says Society's Best Kept Secret. What is that secret? Well, I don't often read the publisher's blurb, but I'm going to for this video. It says, this incredible untold story of Ann Lowe, Jackie Kennedy's wedding dress designer, a Black woman who made some of the most famous dresses of all time, only to be forgotten by history. 1953, New York City. Less than a week before the society wedding of the year, where Jacqueline Bouvier will marry John F. Kennedy Jr., a pipe bursts in Ann Lowe's dress shop and ruins 11 dresses, including the expensive wedding dress, a dress that will be judged by thousands. A Black designer who has fought every step of the way and knows this is only one struggle after a lifetime of them. She and her seamstress will find the way to recreate the dresses. It may take all day and night for the next 2 weeks in order to accomplish the task, but they will do it. 1918, Tampa. Raised in Jim Crow, Alabama, Ann learned the art of sewing from her mother and grandmother, a former slave, who are the most talented seamstresses in the state. After Annie elopes at 12 with an older man who soon proves himself to be an abusive alcoholic, her dreams of becoming a celebrated designer seem to be put on hold. But then a wealthy Tampa socialite sees Ann's talent and offers her an amazing opportunity, the chance to sew and design clothing for Florida's society elite. Taking her young son in the middle of the night, Ann escapes her husband and embarks on the adventure of a lifetime. Now, this is why I'm reading this. It's based on a true story of one of the most famous designers of the 20s through the 60s, who has since been unjustly forgotten. By Design is an unforgettable novel of determination despite countless obstacles, and a triumph celebrated by the Okay, so I dropped the camera, edited it together, the art of editing, right? Now, I've already written my review, and so I'm not going to read my review, but I am going to mention some things that I thought about when I was reading this book. Now, as mentioned in the blurb, she was born in Jim Crow, Alabama. There was a Jim Crow law that enforced segregation, kept the Blacks and the whites separated. This is how she grew up. That's all she knew. And that's where she got her start in life. As the blurb brought out, at the age of 12, she married a man. Okay, this man was abusive. He was an alcoholic. And at the age of 16, she became a mother to Arthur. Okay? But thanks to a beautiful souled benefactor, Ann got the chance to go to design school. Her whole tuition would be paid. So Ann leaves and goes to the school. And when she approaches the dean or the president or whatever his title was, he stumbles his way through the interview. And when he stumbles his way through the interview, she recognizes that she knows why he doesn't want to accept her. First, he tries to use the excuse that she's too young. But the truth of the matter is the color of her skin. Well, she starts to tell him about her designs, and he wants to know where she got the patterns for them, including the very suit that he's wearing. She said, "There is no pattern. It's all up here." So after a little bit of talking to other people, they accept her in the college. So she goes to her classroom. What is her classroom? Her classroom is none other than a room that is no more than a broom closet. And I believe it's room 24, whereas her classmates were in room 25, which was a real classroom with desks, with a blackboard, with illustrations. She gets none of that. She's segregated, enforced segregation. Now, let's fast forward to Jacqueline Bouvier and John F. Kennedy Jr. They're about to marry. She gets assigned to make this wedding dress. The wedding dress and the bridesmaids' dresses are ruined because a burst pipe ruined all of those dresses. She has like 2 weeks to recreate these gorgeous dresses, these dresses that will become iconic. Now, what else did I want to bring out? Oh, if you do any research, which I want to mention that our author, I forgot her first name, Piper Huguley, did extensive research. If you do any research, you'll find out that the Ladies' Home Journal credited Jacqueline Kennedy's dress to a colored designer. That gorgeous dress she did not even get credit for creating that dress. It was just credited to a colored designer. And we all know in today's day and age that the word colored is offensive. Someone mentioned, I was somewhere recently, well, not recently, 6 months ago, and somebody called her neighbor colored. And I'm like, hello, no, that's incorrect. So that's how she got assigned. But there's something else I wanted to mention. When I was reading this book, it brought to mind My Seven Black Fathers by Will Giwando. In Will Giwando's book, he said that enthusiasm, eagerness, and a desire to be acknowledged for something positive, all qualities that were encouraged and rewarded by my white peers, while they were discouraged and penalized by me. I felt that quote from that book that I read by Will Giwando fit our person in this book. And why is I don't know where my names are going. Ann Lowe, okay? Her excellence, her eagerness, her good qualities, her intelligence, her talent, her innovativeness were all discouraged because of the color of her skin. Discouraged to the point that not only did that dress that she designed for the First Lady get no credit to her, but if not for this book here, I wouldn't even know about her. I would not know the first thing about Ann Lowe. I wouldn't know. So I want to make some thanks right now. The first thank you I want to give is to Shar Jones, a fellow book reviewer on a few of the groups that I'm in, because she thought about me after reading this book, and she recommended this book to me and provided me with an email to the publicist that could have gotten me the book. I popped an email to that publicist, and within 20 minutes, that book was in my hands. And guess what I did? I started to read it, but I thought, well, wait a minute, this book is already published. Let's look at my library. Couldn't find it. Let's look at Audible. Yeah, I'm out of credits. I won't have a credit till the 25th. Scribd. Ah, yes, I got it on Scribd. So I got it as an audiobook. And let me tell you, I listened to this book from beginning to end. I think a 13-hour audiobook at 2 speed from beginning to end. So my first thank you is to Shar Jones. Secondly, thank you to Scribd for having a copy of it. Most importantly, thank you to Piper Huguley for writing this book. But I also want to thank Piper Huguley for the research that she did. And last but not least, I want to thank her for recommending a video on YouTube, which was a live stream at the time, and it's called Celebrating Ann Lowe, Honoring the Legacy of Black Fashion Designers. So after I listened to the entire audiobook from the beginning to the very end, I watched that YouTube video that I am linking in the description below. Why am I thanking Shar and Piper Huguley and the research that Piper Huguley did and to this YouTube video? Because Black excellence in our day and age is still being stomped on, okay? When our protagonist, Ann Lowe, was alive, the Jim Crow law was being enforced, okay? Will Jawando said in his book that excellence and eagerness is rewarded and encouraged to whites, but not to blacks. In my personal experience, this is Robin Taylor talking here, that's the life that I lead. I'm experiencing something right now, that is crushing my eagerness, my intelligence, my exuberance, and it happens to me every day of my life. It has happened to me since I was in school, and it's happening to me right now in one of the experiences that I am undergoing. Now, I want to tell you something about me in school. I never got anything less than an A. I never got anything less than 100%. My scoring was perfect from the first day I set my foot in school till I received my diploma. But yet my excellence was crushed. And that's what happened to Ann Lowe, and that's why I wanted to read the blurb, which I did print, because it says, based on the true story of one of the most famous designers of the 20s to the 60s, has been unjustly forgotten. Our children need to know that these iconic characters existed and need to be looked up to. In this case, we're talking about Ann Lowe. I mentioned Will Jawando in his book, My Seven Black Fathers. I think he's an activist, okay? I have a friend, her name is Nareda, and Nareda sends me the most amazing links that I have yet to decide how to use them. And I'm going through my chat with her. I am determined to use these things that Nareda sends me. Let me look her up. And she is bringing me articles. One of the wounded, a member of the famous 369th Infantry, and his mother. It was a black man who was able to continue to fight. A military policeman, black man. Sisters and brother, Etta, Sam, and Hattie McDaniel. In all of the television movies that they were in. Josephine Baker. I mean, I love Nareda for sending me these articles. Look at that. You see all these pictures that are coming up? Yes. This is what children need to learn about, especially black children who excel in intelligence and knowledge. I'm an erudite. I have an eidetic memory. And we don't get to excel without pressure or stress or prejudice because of the the way that people, many people think. And the fact that this beautiful designer, Ann Lowe, made these most amazing dresses, and I'm going to just pull her up so I can show you some of the dresses that she made. Let's go to the first one. So this is one. That's Ann Lowe sitting in the chair. She was a tiny woman, very diminutive woman. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Okay, the fact that all of her talent was counted as a colored designer instead of Ann Lowe, fashion designer, was amazing. And I think in that video, that YouTube video that I mentioned that I watched, I think less than 7% of the world's designers are Black. If not, it might not even be as high as 7%, because I have to admit I was watching it at 2 o'clock in the morning. But Black designers are just not all that popular. Now, I did read a book by a man maybe 3 years ago who's a Black designer who designs a lot of things for pop stars, for Black, like not pop, like rap, rap singers and stuff. I can't remember his name, but he is a Black designer. So I have read a book about a Black designer years ago, but I don't want to, it would take too long for me to look it up. But the percentage is super low, okay? Because excellence is crushed, okay? So what am I doing in this video? Why am I talking for 20 some odd minutes? Because Ann Lowe is somebody that you need to learn about. If you want any other references to other Black people that made their mark in history, just let me know. Because thanks to my friend Narrator, I've got link after link. And somehow or another, I am going to compile all of that and create a unique video. But for right now, they're all there. So if you want to learn anything more, let me know. I do recommend taking an hour of your time and watching the YouTube video that I'm going to link in the description. And I highly recommend you read this book. If you can get it as an audiobook, you might enjoy it more, because the narration was excellent. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry the video is so long. I hope that you stayed with me for this whole video. As a matter of fact, I am going to make a quick intro that I'm going to put at the beginning to ask you to stay for the whole video. So thanks so much.